specialist, but what?
Yes, yeah. She is our digital facilitation specialist and
Like
she's also
facilitator.
district ID manager. Yes.
Oh, there you are. Okay, there you are. I see you now.
No.
Okay, so yeah, we just have exactly 1 minute now. How many ever seconds left? So let's make use of the awkward silence before we officially start.
Well, we want silence, or can we still talk?
You can still talk, not make it awkward. So yes.
So I'm going to encourage everybody to turn their cameras on, because I'll tell you, most of my clients, when we don't see your mouth, it is harder for us to understand you than when we can at least see your face. And because I teach pronunciation and I do videos. If you haven't seen any of my videos, I get up close and personal with people, because it's your lips and your mouth is the way that many people identify what you're saying. So we're going to talk about pronunciation as a very physical activity with your mouth. So having your camera on is a way of connecting with those people rather than this anonymity that we got now with Zoom. We can be on a window and we can be there and multitask, and we're not really paying attention to what's happening. So I encourage everybody to be brave and turn on their cameras. Thank you. Well, Ritu, you were there and then you disappeared again. Now you're there. Hi, Philip. Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello, Ritu
I'm
ma'am.
excited.
Likewise, we are all excited as well. So we can start now officially. Yes. So over to you, Shalini.
Thank you, Shweta. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Welcome to our District 116 Toastmasters workshop session. Before we begin today, here are a few Zoom guidelines to help us have a smooth and engaging meeting. Please keep your microphone muted when you are not speaking to avoid background noise. If you would like to speak or ask a question, use the raise hand feature or type in the chat box. Feel free to keep your camera on so we can connect better, but it's optional as well. This session is recorded for education purposes, so if you prefer, you may keep your camera off. If you're going away from your seat, please make sure your camera and microphone is muted and camera is turned off. Thank you for helping us create a professional and friendly online environment. Today's meeting, it will mainly focus on voice and accent coaching. Today's workshop is all about enhancing your voice and accent skills to help you communicate with greater clarity and confidence. We'll start with an engaging session, followed by interactive activities, question and answer, and we also have breakout room sessions for today. Our goal is to provide you with practical tools and inspiration to support your Toastmasters journey. To officially kickstart today's program, it's my pleasure to introduce the driving force behind this event, our TLI chair. It's none other than Distinguished Toastmaster Shweta Raguraman. Shweta is a certified anti-money laundering specialist and currently serves as a consultant for internal audit at Protiviti Middle East. She's a passionate Toastmaster for over 7 years and is best known for her introspective communication style. A distinguished Toastmaster, Shweta currently serves as the District TLI Chair, where she is committed to delivering purpose-driven trainings, expanding access to learning resources, and fostering engaging and educational experience for our members. With this note, please help me joining our TLI Chair, Distinguished Toastmaster Shweta Raguraman, with a round of applause. Distinguished Toastmaster Shweta, the virtual screen is yours.
Thank you so much, District IT Manager, Toastmaster Shalini. Let's give her a huge round of virtual applause for that effective briefing and moderation of this Zoom meeting proper. And she's been doing a fabulous job as well. And this event wouldn't have been possible without her resource provision, that is the Zoom meeting platform. Because if it weren't for this, we wouldn't have an opportunity to learn from Donna herself. So on this note, I would like to open the district special workshop And here's my hand gavel. Thank you so much. Before I could go on to tell you a bit on the thoughts of what I feel about tonight's workshop, I would like to invite over our District Club Growth Director, distinguished Toastmaster Iman Salame, to please open the meeting with your welcome address. Over to you, DTM Iman.
Thank you, our TLI Share Toastmaster, Distinguished Toastmaster Shweta, for lovely session that we every day with you we are learning new different skills and communication skills. Very proud of you what you are done to the district. Please welcome with me our target speaker for tonight. It's Donna, Distinguished Toastmaster Donna, and you are welcome to District 116 Qatar. And we are happy to have you and to learn from your experience to add much to our knowledge. Welcome to District 116, and I open officially the training, this training. Back to you, Shweta.
Thank you so much, DTM Iman. So now I want to ask you all a question. Have you ever felt a bit insecure about the way you're trying to converse, possibly with anyone in English, be it a person from your own community, a person from your own country, maybe your boss who might be from a different nationality, or any tourist when you visit a new country as such? Do you? There might be a little bit, at least, if not so, if not a lot of insecurity, but a little bit of doubt that you have. Am I pronouncing this word correctly? Like, I have a trouble getting this word right, whether we should pronounce it as often or often. That is one of the most common conundrums that we always face when we are trying to deal with English language on a regular basis. But because we all come from a different language, cultures, and communities, we all stick to what is our comfort level or what we have grown up with. That is our own voice, our own language, and our own accent. But communication is much more clearer and much more effective when you put a little bit of effort, that is, to understand the person in front of you. And that is more important because you are going to build some sort of a meaningful relationship with them going forward. So, this is why I felt that not just as a regular communicator, but even as a speaker in Toastmasters, especially if you're going to conquer at a contest level or probably give a better speech in your club, or maybe, like perform your leadership role, why not use this opportunity? Why not use this wisdom that our workshop facilitator, Donna Durbin, is going to serve us with? So it is my honor and privilege to introduce Donna Durbin. To tell you a bit about Donna, she's an American accent specialist and is a founder and a CEO of Clear English Coach, where she trains multilingual C-suite executives and professionals across the globe to refine their oral communication skills. Pronouncing American English correctly increases credibility and influence, competency, productivity, team, customer, and audience interaction succeed with fewer communication errors and confusions. Audience frustrations are reduced when English is spoken with confident, articulate, crisp pronunciation, and unmistakable elocution. Miss Durbin is a world traveler, educator, a keynote speaker, artist, and an entrepreneur. After 25 years as a professor at the University of Houston Language and Culture Center and the Art Institute, in 2014, Ms. Durbin was awarded the American Accent Training Certificate to fill the gap she saw in the academic ESL program. Ms. Durbin has provided pronunciation coaching for over 400 clients from 45 countries, including corporations such as WHR, BBVA, Accenture, Mitsui, just to name a few. And today, she's going to tell us how to speak confidently to anyone, anytime, and anywhere. This is a quote that she herself has penned in her own words. So, with your hands filled with a lot of power, enthusiasm, and energy, let's give a virtual round of applause on welcoming our workshop facilitator, Donna Durbin. Over to you, Donna.
Thank you so much, Beta. It's great to see you and everyone here. Thank you so much for coming today. I guess it's night, day. For me, it's morning. For you, it's afternoon, early evening, I guess. Okay.
Good afternoon. Yes.
So I appreciate this opportunity. And yes, I like to travel. And anytime I travel, I try to learn some of the language. But I realized what the challenge is. The first time I traveled outside of the country was when I was speaking French in high school. And I went to Jonquière, Quebec, to practice speaking French for the summer. And I could read and write it, but I'll tell you, trying to speak it and have a conversation and understand it was extremely difficult. I don't know. It was the end of 6 weeks. I might have been able to do a few words, but you think, part of our brain that uses the speech as we are adults is based on visual learning and word recognition. So right now I'm learning Spanish and I'm using a little app called AirLearn. And I've noticed that I can fill in the blanks and I can understand the sentence much easier than I can try to speak to somebody. So language is something that we develop as children, right? I mean, we learn to speak at 6 months, 8 months, 2 and 3 years old. So part of the reason I started doing this was because I've been teaching. I was a homestay mother for students learning to speak English coming to the United States. And I started that in like 1993, I believe. And so for 4 years, I had students from around the world live with me and learning to speak English. But before that, I had been teaching textiles. I have an art degree in weaving and textiles. So my MFA is actually, my graduate degree is actually as a exhibiting artist. And I did learn that I had to market myself by going out and talking to interior designers and to architects. And the difficult thing was not doing the studio work, but actually being able to go out and speak with people and get over the fear of introducing yourself. So when I was doing the teaching at U of H, the University of Houston, in Houston, what I noticed is that we spend a lot of time on grammar, reading, writing, and vocabulary, comprehension. We spend no time on pronunciation and delivery. My students would spend hours preparing a speech, and then they would get up in front of the classroom and you couldn't understand them. And so part of this made me recognize that the way I got started in this was the fact that I went to live in Thailand and was learning to speak Thai, and I knew the vocabulary and the words. I wanted to go to the market on Silver Street, and this word for silver sounded like ngung to me, but they could not, they kept telling me, no, that's not right. That's not right. But they could not explain to me how to pronounce it clearly or correctly. And the light bulb went off in my head, and I thought, this is what happens to my students. They know the word, they know the grammar, but they speak it, and Americans go, huh, what? And they have to repeat themselves. So in 2010, after 2 years of traveling around Southeast Asia, I came back and started focusing just on pronunciation. And I had so many of my students come and tell me that nobody's ever told me this before. And I thought, well, why is that? And what I realized is that their muscles had developed for their native language, but had not developed for speaking English. So this is what I've been doing for the last 15 years, is just, training people to help improve their pronunciation. Now, I have to tell you, and as I tell everybody, when we get nervous, when we're tired, if we are anxious or we're emotional, our pronunciation changes. How many of you, when you first stand up to start to speak, feel nervous? Right? So I'm recognizing here that I feel like I'm on stage, and again, I've been on Zoom for years now. This is what I do. When I'm in front of the classroom, I have no problem. speaking. But when I'm in a group of strangers, sometimes it feels there's a little anxiety that goes on. So I tell people, and so I'm going to do it. So I'm going to take 3 deep breaths. So take 3 deep breaths with me. So when we get anxious, we don't breathe. And when you take more deep breaths, you're actually giving your brain oxygen. And it helps to reduce the anxiety. So part of what I've recognized is that when you start speaking and you get nervous, you start speaking very quickly. So to intentionally slow down your speech and take your time to present, because you're consciously changing the way you speak, makes a difference in your presentation. So let's see. I'm going to see if I can still share. Can I share? I'm going to share just a couple of slides and then I'm going to go back and not. So let me figure out how to do this. I've got new Zoom stuff. So let's see. Okay, so this is me. So I just told you how I got started is that I was living in Thailand and recognized that I could not pronounce the word for silver. So I wanted to ask you, let me see if I can, okay. This is a new way to do it. I've just learned this part. So why should you care about your pronunciation? Do I have any volunteers? Unmute and give me why you should care about your pronunciation, or why do you care about your pronunciation?
So
And
that
I'm
the
gonna
is
go
clear.
ahead.
So
Okay,
that
you
the
want-
other person understands better.
so you're trying to make a connection, right? When you're trying to speak, and so communication is a two-way street. You can speak it, but if the listener can't understand it, then you're not really communicating. So for me, pronunciation was the key that was missing in our academic English programs, because they knew the language. They knew that they had that was something they knew. They could read it, they could speak it. But when they would speak, it was the accent. So for you, what stops you from speaking up? Are you afraid? Is it that you don't have enough knowledge? So I think this is it. So what stops you? Is it the language? Is it the physical part that you actually don't have the ability within your muscles to speak correctly? Is it your attitude or your willingness? Emotional. So I was going to try to do a poll, but if you would just put in the chat, which one of these is the most problem for you? 1, 2, 3, emotional, or 5? It's a habit. It's lack of practice. Which one would you put in the chat? Which one is the top one for you? So I'm going to stop the share. Everybody got their idea of what they're going to put? I don't see many things going in the chat. So here's some more. Okay, 4, emotional. 1, language. 4, I see a lot of 4s and a lot of 1s. 5, habits. 4, a lot of 4. A couple of 1s, but a lot of 4s. So I'm going to stop the share a minute. And let's just talk about that. So tell me, a lot of you said 4, which is emotional. Many of you said 1, it's language. So yes, if we don't have the language, it's hard to speak up because you're limited, like my Spanish, like quiero entender español. So I have to really think hard about the words I'm trying to say because I'm not used to using them. But when I was in Thailand, selamat, let's see, abakabar, those are phrases that I used over and over again when I was in Indonesia, because I was repeating them every day. Repetition is really the key to knowledge, right? We have to repeat it so it becomes our new natural, our new normal. And if we're not speaking it very often, this is why your native language as a baby. How many of you have children? Raise your hand. How many of you have children? Okay. What are their ages? Lena, what is the age of your child?
My children are 17 and 18.
Okay, so they're grown. Do any of you have like babies, like infants, or 1, 2, 3 years old? So I want you to think back. when you were a child, how did you learn to speak?
By
How did
listening.
you speak, Iman?
By listening.
By listening and mimicking, and you hear it and you listen. We all have an innate ability to speak. And we have the connections between our listening and our muscles that develop as an infant and a child. And those muscles develop because you're repeating those same sounds and you're hearing them. As we get older, the sounds we're not using anymore go dormant. And so when I started teaching this, I realized that it's unconscious. The way I use my tongue and lips is unconscious. And I had to become really, really conscious of not only what I was listening to, but in Thai is a tonal language. I don't know about Hindi. Is Hindi a tonal language? So tonal means that like ma is 5 different words. One's cat, shirt, dog, whatever. And it's the tone, it's the way you say it, whether it's up, down, up and down and down and down and up, is the difference in the words. I had never experienced a tonal language before. I really had to start listening. And once I finally got it, it made me very sensitive to recognizing that even though English is not a tonal language per se, we use tone when we speak to add emphasis. And if you don't use the stress or emphasis, the stress in the right way, it sounds like a different word to us. So we have record and record. One's a noun and one's a verb, right? But if you just say record, if you say it very quickly or say record, I'm like, what? I don't know what you're saying. So part of it is having to really listen carefully to how you deliver the sounds. Is really like a child when we had to repeat and say, like they could say mama, papa. I mean, some of these sounds are the way their lips are moving and they're repeating what they say. So it's very interesting because as we get older, that part goes unconscious. So when I started teaching pronunciation, I realized I have to really help people recognize what they're doing because it's a habit more than anything else. And it's the habit of the way these muscles have developed. And so when you change the way you move your mouth and lips, you're changing the way you shape the sounds to come out of your mouth. And it's what involves language? How do we speak? How does the word come out? Do you guys know? How do we make sounds?
Through the tongue and the vocal cords.
The tongue, the lips, the vocal cords, but it also includes air. If we don't have air coming out, then that sound doesn't happen. I can move my lips and I can move my tongue, but no sounds coming out because I don't have air and I don't have my vocal cords engaged. So the difference is, so when I started teaching this, let me go and think. So let's look at let me share again real quick. So an accent, I consider to be a habit. It's a distinct way that language or typical speech patterns happen. And it's articulation, which I define as the placement of the lips and tongue for the alphabet sounds. Intonation, which is the rhythm, stress, and pitch tone. Pace, pauses, which create the melody of English. And then we do have the vowels, A, E, I, O, U. But my Spanish speakers, they have 5 vowels and 5 sounds. In English, we have 5 vowels and about 22 sounds. So if your language, right? How many vowels do you have in Hindi? I'm assuming they're the same, but they may not be. So your language is different than my language. And have you ever thought about it? Do you know the breakdowns of the mechanics of your language? So until I started teaching this, I never realized how complicated speaking a language was because we assume, because we grow up doing it, that we don't even think about it, right? You don't have to think about where your tongue is when you're speaking. But to do what I do, I have to start really paying attention to tell people, So there are 6 tips for improving your English right now. Open your mouth more when you speak English. Because if I talk like this and I keep my lips closed, does this change the way I sound? Does it change the way I sound if I don't open my mouth? And how many of you have heard people mumble? You know, how you doing today? Think about that. So we're not conscious of the way we are using our mouth and lips for delivery. So when you open your mouth more, that's English. We use more facial muscles and movements when we speak. What do you think? Anybody comments? Does this make sense? So I'm taking it down to the very basics. When I teach, it's not rocket science. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible to help you guys recognize it. So opening your mouth more. And I'm going to tell you, yawn 5 times a day because you want to relax these muscles. I'm working with some Indian speakers right now, and they keep their mouth closed like this. They don't open their mouth very much. It's almost like he grits his teeth. So he's not really being able to have now. Part of this has to do with volume. When I have air come out, I have more volume. And so some cultures, some languages are spoken very softly. They're spoken very softly like this, like Japanese. Konnichiwa. Watashi wa dana. So they're not spoken. They are raised. And you think about it culturally, Japan has a mass of people in a very small space. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm in Texas. We got lots of space. And Americans have lots of space. I tell people that we are full of hot air. We are used to taking up space. This is why we have a reputation for being obnoxious visitors and tourists. We're loud. We're inconsiderate in many ways because we're so, we're so related to our own country that we don't recognize the difference when we travel. So what I had to do when I traveled was to try to really pay attention to the cultures there and fit in there rather than expecting them to fit my culture, which is a very different thing. Blow out more air. What does this mean? Blow out more air. It means how you have to take deep belly breaths. How many of you breathe from here to here? So let's see. I'm going to stop the share. So did I stop the share? No, not yet. Okay. So how many of you breathe from your just your throat? How many of you breathe from your belly? Because when you take a deep breath of air, because I'm having to do that with my client right now, take a breath and blow out air. So when we say words like frank, pop, shake, change, sit, S, hurry. Let me share again. I'll show you the words that I want you to see. Let's see. Okay. Frank, F, pop, shake, change, sit. Do you feel how much air comes out? Put your hand in front of your mouth. Can you feel the air? Height, tip, and then the TH of 3 and thank. 3 and thank. When I hear Indians say thank, I hear tank. I hear tank or tree. I don't hear 3. So TH in English for us is the tongue is here and the air comes out between the teeth and the tongue. The TH is the only time that we put our tongue between our teeth. Now, what is there a consonant sound for you that you put your tongue between your teeth? I'm not as familiar with Hindi, but I know for my Spanish speakers that they dada. Da, da. They put their tongue between their teeth for their D.
Yeah.
Any comments? Have you thought about this? So when you say TH, so the word thoughts is TH. Thoughts. I hear tots. I don't hear thoughts. I hear tots. So something is not something. It's something. So once I break the alphabet down into these, the way that English speakers speak the consonant sounds, that's articulation. So when we recognize where these lips and patterns are, and I don't know if I put that in my slides, we'll go back to that. So keep that in mind about articulation. We'll come back to that, okay? So any questions on that? Have you thought about how you say T? Now, I know that Hindi has 3 different ways you say T, right? Ta, da, ta, right? Your alphabet has different ways of saying. So I've got to help you become conscious of where your tongue is for this and how it differs, because the difference in an accent is only recognizing the differences between the way you speak and the way we speak, or English, Americans speak. And British English is different than American English, right? British, and I don't know that they call it different languages, but I call it, it's different, because I work with a lot of Indian clients who've learned British, what I call British English, and they don't pronounce their R's or some sounds the same way Americans do. We have some very distinctive sounds that are American. And so that's what I'm teaching. I'm not teaching other people British English because I don't know British English. I know American English. And we all have accents. Accent's not the problem, but if you can't get your message across, that's the problem. To me, it's the communication. That's what I care about. So I'm not promising anybody that they will completely lose their accent. I have an accent. But when we don't consciously try to change the way we speak, do you see I started to speed up and now I'm slowing down? So which is easier to understand? When I talk really fast like this, or when I slow down and intentionally pace myself and speak differently? So it's just becoming conscious. Okay, so the other tip I'm going to give you is pronounce the last consonant sound of each word. So everybody say that. Pronounce the last consonant sound in each word. So when you intentionally do this, so when I say, hello, my name is, I'm not just saying, hello, my name is. Hello, my name is, because my Spanish speakers will not put the word, they don't put the M. So it's hello, my name is. And if I don't hear that M, then that distracts me because I'm not hearing the word clearly. I live in Houston, Texas. Okay. Now, what I notice about when we were speaking is that you say a W. I live, instead of I live. So V is your bottom lip, touches your top teeth. F and V use the same lip position. F is voiced. F is. So everybody put their hand on their neck. Put your hand on your neck and do an F. Now it's just a sound. Now do a V. Do you feel your vocal cords engaged? Do you feel vibration? You should feel a vibration. So we have 2 ways that consonants are made.
Richard, give me my earpiece, eh?
Okay, Chinua. So think about it. So when we say, let's see what the other ones. Okay, so we have each. Each is, how do you change the difference between SH and CH? Let me do the stop the share. Let's see what the next one is. No, that's the next one. Okay, so let's look at the last consonant sounds in words. And if you don't have my view, can you put me on speaker view? Or am I big enough for you guys? If I'm not big enough, you can pin me or you can make me bigger because I really want you to look at my lips. So the difference is we have what I call consonant twins, and this is for articulation of the alphabet. F is here. V is What I know about my Indian speakers is usually you will reverse the V for the W. Is that right? So environment is a V, not environment. Environment, or provide, not provide, but provide. So your brain, because I don't know if I don't understand how Hindi works, but I do know that your brain has reversed what we call a V for a W, right? So voice for us is a V, voice, not voice. So what I have to work with my clients is to get them to start paying attention to words that have V in it, so they do the V sound like an English speaker. Because you're imposing your own language patterns or habits onto English. And every language has its own alphabet, right? Its own pronunciation of the sounds. So I find it fascinating because we are imposing what we know onto what we already have, but when we transfer that pattern onto English, it doesn't always work. So this is why I start to help people become very conscious of how they're speaking so they can improve that. So write down in your notes, if you're taking notes, TH and V, because those are the two sounds that I hear the most. The other one is R, because we have a vocalic R. You have a right? You do a trill with your tongue. Our R doesn't touch anywhere. Our R is back here in the back of our throats. And it's a growl, like a dog growls, And when we start a word with R, we do a tight pucker, run, red. So you really have to pay attention to your lips. So I tell people, make sure you get a mirror and start practicing, because you have to let your brain, you have to help your eyes and brain see what your mouth is doing, because you'll say it and you think you're doing it correctly, and it's not. It's not changing. So part of it is part of the fun. You have to have a sense of humor about it, because it's really crazy. I have this one client and he's like, he thinks he's saying it. I'm like, look in the mirror, because he's not doing it. Okay. Any questions, comments? What do you think? What do you think so far? Is this making you think differently?
Definitely.
Yes.
About pronunciation?
Of course,
Because
yes.
I tell you, it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science, but it does make a huge difference. And so it's really like you're trying to wake up this dormant part of your brain to reconnect it to your muscles and build new muscle memory. And it takes repetition and practice. Okay, next one. My tips, okay, is read out loud 10 minutes a day. How many of you read out loud? Do you read out loud, Lena? Are you reading to your children? Or are you reading for yourself?
No, I read from, that's what my English teacher always kept telling.
Okay, there we go. So it's not rocket science, but what you're doing, what I tell people, and as we work together, they will be reading for different reasons, different purposes. But to start off is focus on the last consonant, the last sound. Do you hear the ND of each word? Do you hear my growled R? Word, not word, but word. Word. In English, we growl these vocalic R's, we growl them. We have to hear every R in every word. So have you even thought about that? Because you're just it's unconscious, right? You're just speaking the way you know. It's normal for you. So this means it has to feel different, or you're not changing anything. But if you start reading out loud, and when you read out loud, you are moving these muscles in a new way. You're really exercising your muscles. Because when you scan a page, we're just scanning for content. And it takes longer to speak the sentences than it does to read. You know, visually, we can grab those words and understand quickly. Okay, learn your high frequency words. Now, what do I mean when I say high frequency words? Anybody? What are your high frequency words? You put them in the chat. This was your homework. I don't know how many of you did your homework, but I asked you to come up with 10 high frequency words. High frequency words are the words you use every day. And whether that's in your profession, are you an engineer? Are you a project manager? Are you a marketing person? What words do you use that are related to either your profession or to your daily conversations that you speak over and over again? Any ideas? Let's see, V&W just realized recently. Okay, good. Repetitive, right? So what are your words? What are some words? I heard Toastmasters. I heard hello. Okay, hello. How are you? And so, but, okay. So, and so, but, what are those, Dr. Robin? What are those? Those are filler words for the most part. So tends to be mine. And I know when I visited Toastmasters groups, they have somebody that counts those filler words, right? How many times do we say that? So you have to learn to just keep your mouth, just close your mouth. Take a breath. You don't have to fill it with space, but we tend to want to fill the space because we're anxious or nervous, right? Any others? So these are small words. You guys have more words than that. Friends come. Let's do it. Thank you. Sorry. Hello. Okay. Friends. Do you hear the R? Friends. Let's do it. Thank. TH. Thank. Sorry. Performance. Look how many R's in it. Performance. Performance. Okay. Good. Great. Okay. Deadline. Okay. So let's look at the word dead. I'm looking in the chat. Can you guys see if I have it here? Do you see the chat? Or do you not see the chat? Okay. I don't know what you're seeing. Okay. So deadline is a 2-syllable noun. And we call this we call it a set word, a set phrase, but deadline is 2 syllables. 90% of our 2-syllable nouns are stressed on the first syllable. It's not deadline, it's deadline. La, la. So the pitch change, la, la. And that stressed syllable, that first syllable, is a fraction of a bit longer in duration than the second one. It's not equal. Deadline. It's deadline. So if you guys change nothing else, if you can remember that we have long and short, and I'm going to get more into that. But report, it's not report, it's report. It's stressed on the second syllable. Tomorrow, where's tomorrow? Where's the stress? Tomorrow. La, 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 tomorrow. It's not tomorrow, tomorrow. Because if you just say tomorrow, I'm like, what? Tomorrow. Okay, what else we got? Workforce, recruit, paradigm. Those are good words. Called. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Let's see. The sing song. Here, what we're talking about is intonation. This sing song, our voice goes up and our voice comes down. Our voice goes up and our voice comes down. And do you know that a good English speaker uses a variety of 8 tones? Not just here. I'm not just right here. I'm not just right here because then I'm monotone. Do you see how boring that is? Can you really tell what I'm saying? Da, 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 da. But I want to go up and I want to come down because that tonal variety keeps your audience engaged and it helps us to distinguish what you're saying because of the change in tone, because that's emphasis for our ears. When we hear the tone go up, That's the stressed syllable. Let me get one more. So syllable timed languages are all the same. Dot, 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 dot. So if you're monotone, has anybody ever told you you sound boring? Have you ever listened to a speaker who's like, I'm gonna like this, and it's like, I'm gonna like talk all like this, and they're boring. Our brain disconnects because but some languages, this is what they're like. Vietnamese, Chinese are all syllable timed language. They're all the syllables are all the same level and same timing. Now look at English. English is a stressed timed language. We have unequal sounds of high and low, high, medium, low, weak, and weak lumps. So you see down here, so we have word groups. You see how these are separated? They're not like this. They're not all the same across. So this is the way people speak English. So the flowers are the tones, the tone of pitch. This is the way people speak English. Now, I want some volunteers. Unmute and read this sentence for me. Who wants to start? Lena, go for it.
The way people speak English.
Okay, so you flattened out here. This last noun in the sentence is what we call our focus word. All of these words flow down to this, and this is the highest and lowest tone in the sentence. This lets us hear an audible period.
Okay.
But if you go English, then we don't think you're finished speaking. So do it again. English. So say easy.
English.
That's better. Do it again.
This is the way people speak English.
I want more difference between people. This is a 2-syllable noun. So it's people. People speak
English.
Speak English. Does that feel different than how you normally say it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Who else wants to try? Okay.
This is
Go ahead. I was trying to see your name, but I see all of your titles before that. So it's
Badriya.
Badriya. Okay, Badriya.
This is the way people speak English.
Okay, so you flattened out a little bit here and you didn't give me any variety here. Do it again. This is the way.
This is the way people speak English.
Very good. Better, much better. But we want people to be like, so you guys use the template easy. Easy has la, la. Those tone different. We want that much distance between those tones instead of people. People speak English. And then this is even higher. People speak English. Who else? Somebody else. Who wants to try it?
This is the way people speak English.
Okay, so you kind of lowered them down a little bit. You didn't give me as much high and low, but that was better. But here they were all about the same. This is the way. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. La, 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 la. Do it again.
This is the way people speak English.
Very good. Excellent. Good job. Okay. Now, guys, why I like group coaching is because when you start to hear other people and I'm correcting them, by the time I get to the third person, they've got it. Because you're hearing this and you're starting to recognize where those differences are. Right? So who else? Let me have a couple of other people. Who else wants to volunteer? I can't see all of you, so let me see if I can put it up.
Let me help you. Ritu's interested to volunteer.
Who else is interested in volunteering? Speak up. Don't be shy.
Yeah.
Okay, Iman.
This is the way people speak English.
Okay, you flattened out a little bit here. Go higher and lower. English. Do it again.
This is the way people speak English.
Go higher. English.
English.
English. Do it again.
English.
Better. English. And again, this syllable is longer. It's not just English. English. And this is the harder part because it has to be longer in duration. It's not just English. It's English. So
English.
those stressed syllables are higher in pitch and longer in duration. Okay. Maritesh. How do you say your name? Maritesh? Marutesh.
Marutesh. Yeah,
Marutesh.
Marutesh. Yeah.
Marutesh. Okay. Your turn. Oh, you need to unmute. Maritesh? You need to unmute.
Yeah, I think he's stepped away. So maybe
Oh,
we
I
can.
thought he had his hand raised. Okay.
Yeah, same. Yeah. So
Who
would
else?
anyone else like to try?
I
Rita?
want to try.
Okay.
Yes. This is the way people speak English.
Very good. Now see, when the more people do it and the more you hear it, the more you can retain it. And that's why it's so good to be able to do it, on Zoom where you can hear and see people, because it doesn't take much repetition to actually do it. But the thing is now when you read out loud, you have to intentionally try to do this melody. And I'll let you know is that the nouns in English are the ones that get the most emphasis. If I said, this is the way people speak English, that's way too fast, and I'm not giving any definition to the words. So these pauses in English, you've got to think about, we take a pause between every 3 to 4 words. This is the way as a word group. People speak English. People speak English. The emphasis is right here. People speak English, 2-syllable nouns. Okay, Rajan, unmute, give it a try.
This is the way people speak English.
Good. Now I'm got a question about this word here. Way. Where is your lips? How are your lips moving? Can you unmute and show me?
Way.
I mean, can you put your video on and show me? Okay.
This is the way people speak English.
So I heard they instead of way.
Way, okay.
Way. RW is a tight pucker. Way.
Way.
Way. Right. It's different, right?
Yeah.
It's different. So your habit is to do a V. That's where that V and W get reversed. And it's not that it's wrong. It's just that that's your language patterns that you're imposing on English, which makes it sound different for us and a little confusing. Right? So it's a habit. It's unconscious habit, the way we speak, and those muscles have been developed. And I tell you, it takes much longer to build new muscle memory than you would think, because it's not automatic. It takes repetition. Anybody else want to try it? No? Okay. One more? Okay. Kalpesh? Oh, Liz?
Hello.
Liz? Yeah, go ahead. Put your video on if you don't mind, so I can watch your mouth.
Sorry, I'm not in a position to put my video on.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead.
Can try. This is the way people speak English.
Oh my gosh, great. So just this small little thing, you guys have already picked it up. It doesn't take long once you start to recognize what it is you're trying to do, but it's the practice. So we'll get into some more. Okay, slow down. Fluency does not mean fast. I'm sorry, I got cut off here, but fluency does not mean fast. A lot of my students used to think if they spoke really quickly, then they were sounding fluent. But the problem is we couldn't understand them. They might be speaking quickly, but we couldn't understand what they were saying. So slow down your pace. And I do know I visited India in 2010 and I had a chance to go to Pushkar and Agra and Delhi and those kind of things. And we had a driver. I know he said he was speaking English, but I couldn't understand him. I said, slow down, slow down. He never slowed down his speech. I could not understand him. Now, I do know that maybe Hindi is spoken very quickly. It's like a machine gun. It sounds like a machine gun to me. It doesn't sound like some word groups that I can comprehend. So it takes me longer to process what you're saying than it takes you to speak it. So intentionally slow down. Now, I'm in the South. I'm in Houston. I've lived in the South most of my life. So my speech is much slower than someone in New York or in Chicago. But when people come, when I work with people, they all say they can understand what what I say. So I intentionally try to speak slowly so that everyone understands me. And that's what you want to do as a Toastmaster. When you're speaking with the public, you want your whole audience to understand you. So you have to consider who you're speaking to. And if you're speaking in English, I'm going to encourage you to slow down. Okay, let's see. So break time. It's about an hour. Let's take what, 7 minutes, 5 minutes? How long do you usually take? Sveta?
Let's take 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay, we'll come back in 5 minutes. Can you set the timer?
Yes, I will monitor it. We'll be back by
Okay.
4:15 p.m. Yes.
Okay, that sounds great. Okay. I'm going to turn off my video and run and step away. Talk among yourself if you're still there.
Sure.
Okay. Sveta, what do you think?
It's amazing so far. It's been like really great. And I got to even learn a lot more on like how I have been unconsciously speaking the language, especially
Learn,
so mindful.
learn,
Learn,
learn.
learn,
Stretch that R out. Stretch that R out. And we don't
learn. Yeah,
think that's the English version. That's the American version.
yeah.
Now, know that for most of it, you got like a trill, right? Your tongue will touch. Learn, learn.
Learn. Yeah,
And so that is a different position of your mouth than when we do an R, or our tongue pulls back for R. Instead of-
usually, I think when we speak English, when we speak Indian English, we try not to stress so much on the R's, especially.
well, because if you do the trill, the little trill, then it changes the way it sounds. And it's not that
Yeah,
we don't understand you, but it's just that can be distracting.
it can be like, yeah, especially it's like we are trying to soften the word a bit more.
Well, the difference, like if I try to mimic a British English saying water, we say water,
Water,
water, 2 syllables, water. And they say
water. Yes.
water, give me a glass of water. They go ah instead of right?
Mhm. That's
So
right.
this
That's
is the way the
exactly.
Muslims do. It's really fascinating. I have a really good time with this, and I'm always learning something new. And I'm even with English, I'm going, oh my gosh, I don't know why we do that, or I don't know why it's spelled that way and pronounced this way. I didn't make up the rules, and
That's
yeah. So, but it is interesting because the more I do this, the more I recognize how much I admire the people that have learned to speak English, and
exactly.
how grateful I am that English is the global business language. Because very few Americans would adapt very well if they had to speak another language. Very few Americans speak a second language.
That is true.
So I always tell my clients, you need to pat yourself on the back and don't give yourself a hard time. You really need to recognize how much effort and work it's gone into to be able to accomplish what you accomplish. So this is just the final refining part. And
exactly.
not everybody's interested in doing it, in improving their pronunciation. But there's enough people that recognize it really creates a barrier when they can't interact with their American team or coworkers, or they're trying to do a presentation. Makes a huge difference, right?
Yes.
Just feel comfortable.
That is completely what we agree with. Yeah. So now I guess with this, we are done with our 5-minute break. And now I will hand over to you to resume the session. Over to you, Donna.
Okay, great. Let's see. Let me get to the share again. Good. I'm glad you're having a good time. This is meant to have a good time. I like to have fun with this. It's really more, but it's more hands-on and practical than intellectual. It's not as intellectual as the others. So we're going to, I can't share yet. Oh, here, wait, share. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Magic mouth and tongue exercises. This, guys, is what I have found to be the biggest difference for my clients. They can intellectually know this, but if they don't practice these mouth and tongue exercises, nothing changes. It's like going to the gym, having a membership, but you don't go work out. If you don't go work out, nothing changes, right? And if you go once a week, a little bit of progress, but not much. So let's go into this. So this is the warm-up exercises. Now I've got a whole sheet, and I'm going to put a printout that you can put. I'm going to put in the chat, a file that you can put in the chat that you can print out. Actually, let me do that now while I'm thinking about it. So let me include a file. And whoops, that's not what I want. Let's see. I guess I have to stop the share. Cancel. Wait a minute. Stop the share. I'm trying to do too many things and it's not letting me do them all. Let's see here. I'm going to go to, let me see if this works, guys. It's not letting me out. Huh. Am I still sharing? No. So let's see.
No, you're not sharing. What you can do is you can share the document with me and I can post it here on chat.
Well, I've got it pulled up.
Okay.
Okay, here, now I've got it. Okay, so it should be, is it coming in the chat? It's a PDF. It's a
Yeah.
2-page PDF. Okay, good. People can then print it out or look at it because I'm not going to go through all of the exercises right now, but I'm going to do a few of them with you because I want you to give it a try. Now, if you have a mirror, if you have a small mirror, it's really good to do this with a mirror because the mirror helps your brain to see what it is you're doing. Okay, now we go back to, okay, let's see here. Okay, mouth and tongue exercises. We won't stay a lot on this. Okay, this is the warm-up. This is about the movement of the mouth more than the sound. So if you can pin me again so my mouth can be bigger, Sveta, that would probably work out better. Because I don't know if I'm a small block or if I'm bigger.
You're bigger, don't worry.
Okay, I can't see. To me, it looks like a little small thing. Okay, so we're gonna do he. This is a big smile. He. He. Now we're gonna do, let me get my flashlight because I'm gonna really be obnoxious here. So we're doing ha. It's the back of the tongue that I want to go down. The tip of the tongue stays touching your teeth. And only the back goes down. Ha. This is the hardest exercise for somebody. This is also called going to the doctor. So when you go to the doctor and he puts the stick, well, I don't do it very much anymore, but you have to open your mouth and you want to see the little uvula. So this is something most people, their whole tongue pulls back. I just want the back to go down, okay? And then who, tight pucker. Who. Ritu, I can see that you're trying to see your tongue in the back. And this is where you guys really have to laugh and have fun with this because a lot of people go, I can't move my tongue that way. And I said, well, that's the reason you're having problems with pronunciation. So this is E-A-U. 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 But when I'm doing this, the tip of my tongue is touching my teeth the whole time. E-A-U. E-A-U. Okay, so practice this one. And then we're going to do, so this who, or ho. This is where, do you see my lips are really pursed? Who, ho. And they open like this and close like this. Who, ho. So this is where these muscles are really strong for the W and the R. Now, this is going to be what we call kiss fish. Okay, there's each of these exercises has 2 parts. So you're going to pucker really tight and count to 10. And then smile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pucker. Pucker. Sveta. Pucker. And then smile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so these exercises, let me if I got words. Okay, so these are words like shake. When I do shake, I have a really tight SH. Now, I'm not sure where in India people have trouble with SH, but I have had 2 Indian clients that cannot do the SH sound. Does anybody know? Do any of you have problem with SH? I hear S, but I hear S, but I won't hear SH. Nobody? Because let me tell you, this SH sound is spelled like 13 different ways. But this SH sound is really important. So anytime you have a word with TION, like appreciation or action, that's an SH sound. And so if you can't do an SH sound, there are a lot of words you have problems pronouncing. Okay, so shake, catch, quick, wait, eat, say it with me, ate, and read. Red. The next one is, okay, let's have a volunteer. Do you have somebody a volunteer want to do the second row? Any volunteers? Okay, Lena. Lena, you've learned this English. She really got it into you. Every time you have a chance, you do English. Okay, Lena, second row.
Wish.
Good.
Queen.
Okay.
Week. Even. Eight. Run.
Okay, we're going to go back to this word right here. What do you need to change?
Even.
Where's the V?
Even.
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 There you go. Even. I heard even. And
Okay.
it's even. So write that
Even.
word down. So for you, these are words that you need to practice, extra words that have V in them so you get this lip position correct. The lip
Even.
and tongue position is how you articulate the sounds for English, American English. They're different for your language, but for ours, right? Okay.
Even.
Any question? Okay, Martush.
English, English, English.
Good.
Quit. Why?
This is quiet.
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 So quiet. Lower your voice. Quiet.
Quiet.
This is what we call a glide. We have steps in the intonation, and we have glides. So this is quiet, quiet.
Quiet.
Better, okay?
Why?
Good.
Equal.
Good.
April.
Okay, so we don't put stress on the second syllable. We put it on the first. April.
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 Okay, so, and we also, I'm going to tell you, but we have what we call schwa, which is this unstressed vowel, which is April. Instead of April, we say April.
April.
Good.
Right.
Okay, where's my R? Pucker. Right.
Right.
Pucker. Right.
Right.
Better. Pucker. Right.
Right.
Better. If you pucker those lips when you see R at the beginning of the word, you're going to change the way you say that sound. It's not an automatic. Okay, right.
Right.
So you need to practice words that have R in them at the beginning of the word. We have R at the beginning as a consonant blend, in the middle, and at the end. And they change.
Yes.
Okay, good job. Anybody else want to do it? Last row. 2 participants. Okay, I'm Billy.
Shoe,
Shoe.
chew,
Good.
cot,
Okay, quote, long O, quote,
quote,
quote. Do you see how my lips open up? Quote, quote.
quote,
Better. Good.
where,
Right here. Pucker.
where,
Yes. That's it. See, small change, but it makes a big difference to my ears. Where, not there, but where.
even,
Okay. Good.
8,
Good.
road,
Pucker. Road.
a rod,
So it's not a road, it's just road.
road,
So start the R. Road.
rod.
Better. Road. Okay, what do you guys think? Interesting? Okay, now the second exercise is for the sounds of F, V, P, B, and M. So you're going to do what I call the angry dog. You put the bottom lip under your top teeth and you lift this part of your lip up. Like you're growling. And many of you probably can't even move your top lip. Does your... Lena, I saw that. I'm impressed. I don't know if I can do quite what you did, but part of it is this muscle has to be able to move up. So when you do the word thank you. Thank you. If this doesn't get out of the way, it sounds thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So you're not moving this lip. So angry dog is this goes up and you use a mirror because you probably don't even see what you're doing and you can't tell. You may be doing this, but I want this. Okay. And then no lips. You're going to close your lips in. So I don't see any lip. And then angry dog. And then close them all in. Because you're trying to make these muscles fluid so that they coordinate. Those muscles coordinate differently. So you want to use a mirror so that you keep doing this. Now, the handout that I gave you has a lot of different exercises. Don't isolate them. Do all of them. It takes 15 minutes. And if you go to my YouTube channel, Clear English Coach, I have the 15-minute video that you can watch that does all of these exercises. And the reason I started doing the course that I have is all video lessons broken down into small little bite-sized, because people don't practice. I do a video. Somebody's unmuted. Somebody's unmuted. Because they don't practice, then these muscles don't get used. So I made my videos so that you practice with me that much time and not just read it. We're used to relying on our intellect instead of our muscles. So this is these different words. Okay, who wants to volunteer? So these F, V, P, B, and M. So if you look at it, my F and P, F, P, B, these are consonant pairs. Put your hand on your throat and do a P. It's just air. Now do a B. B, 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 B. Do you feel the vibration? B, B, B. That's called voiced. This is unvoiced. It's just air. This is voiced. The only difference between these two pairs and these two lip movements is the vocal cords, the voiced. But if you give me a B when you mean a P, I hear a different word. And M is a nasal sound, and it's a hum, So that's voiced, V is voiced, F is not voiced. So this makes a difference because when we put the past tense ED, or when we turn the plural S into a Z, you need to know what the last consonant sound, whether it's voiced or unvoiced. Now, these are things nobody taught us. I learned these and I thought, my gosh, this makes a huge difference. So who wants to do the first row? Raise your hand or unmic and unmute and speak. Okay, Harneet. I think Harneet's trying to find her unmute part.
Yes, I'll try.
Okay, give it a try.
And it is in the chat.
No, I want you to read
sounds?
the screen. Can you see the screen? This fan, van, pan, ban. Whoops.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Okay,
Fan,
good.
van,
Good. You corrected. I saw that self-correction. You almost did.
pan,
Good.
ban,
Good.
man,
Man. Okay. So that N is longer.
man.
The N is where you say no. It's the same placement. Your N, your tongue wraps around and touches the bump right behind your teeth. No. Man. Okay. Who wants to do the next one?
Man,
Good job. Good job. Okay. What is that? That's
Adria.
Amadria. Yeah.
File.
file.
Whoops.
File.
Okay, so this is a dark L, which means your tongue is going to go schwa, which is and then L. File.
File. File.
Better.
Vial.
Good.
Pile.
Good.
Vile.
File. Good.
Mile.
Good. Okay, who's the next one? Ritu?
Yes.
Okay. 2 syllables. Now I want you to pay attention. 2 syllables, which means la la.
Safar.
Good.
River.
Okay, now I'm hearing the little trill. Pucker your lips. River.
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 Okay, so the V is giving you trouble. So write that word down, the R and the V. So river.
River.
V is veer. Ver.
River.
Okay, so your lips are automatically, unconsciously wanting to do a W sound when you see the V. Does everybody see that? Can everybody see that? It's kind of fascinating because your brain is already built in and you're really having to you're having to compete with it. So do ver. Okay, so if this was an F, riffer, if you did riffer, if this was an F, riffer.
River.
Okay, so F and V, the same lip combinations. V is just, so river.
River.
Better, okay.
Supper.
Good.
Buffer.
Good.
Muff.
That's it, because F. So you can do F. So the only difference with V is that it's the F lip position movement. It's just the vibration. Okay, let's see. We're going to run out of time, guys. Okay, so going to the doctor, you saw this. You'll have this in your exercise. But this is one of the most important exercises you can do. Just getting the back of your tongue down. We use the tip, the middle, and the back of our tongue. So you've got to be able to almost independently control these different areas of your tongue. Okay, now tongue twister. Peter phoned Phil to find four photographers. Okay. Now, this word right here gives a lot of people trouble because our O, our short O in English,
seashells by the seashore.
So mute yourself. I'm hearing people speak. Mute yourself and practice these. So Peter, so the reason I've capitalized it is because it's capped, it's intonation. Peter phoned Phil to find four fine photographers. Peter phoned Phil to find four fine photographers. Okay. Susie sells seashells by the seashore where the sun shines on the shop signs. Do you guys hear my voice going up and down? I'm using my hand to kind of help you. Okay. If Ruth and Keith were beneath the wreath, where was the wreath that Ruth and Keith were beneath? Now, I'm thinking this one is the one that's going to give most people the trouble because of your TH. Am I right? Okay. So, because if you do root, if you say root, that's not Ruth. Okay. So let's try this one. Anybody want to try if Ruth and Keith were beneath the wreath? Where was the wreath that Ruth and Keith were beneath? Campania.
If Ruth and Keith were beneath the wreath, where was the wreath that Ruth and Keith were beneath?
Excellent. I'm very impressed. Great job. Very good job. Okay, who else wants to try it? Okay, Lena. Lena, you're hogging the thing. Let's see. Let's give Emily a chance.
Okay.
Okay, Emily.
If Ruth and Keith were beneath the wreath, where was the wreath that Ruth and Keith were beneath?
Great, but this where, I'm hearing there instead of where.
Where?
Yeah, pucker. Wah. Our W's are puckered. Where?
Where?
So that's your brain defaulting to your VW in your native language, right? I'm thinking that's because really that's what happens is your brain will default to what it knows and you have to practice it longer to get it to change. Okay, excellent. Good job. Okay, intonation. We're gonna have to swing through this. So I want you to start thinking about non-word communication sounds. I got this somehow when I changed this, they moved all over. So this is uh-oh, 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 uh-uh, uh-uh, huh? Huh? Do you feel that? Do you guys have non-communication sounds? Especially if you've got teenagers, they speak a lot in non-word communication sounds, right? You know, I mean, you think about these sounds and they're automatic. We learn them as baby. And we're using tones to actually be able to get across information without any word. Lena's laughing because she said she has the teenagers. So you have to really start paying attention to the way we sound because it's unconscious and we don't think about it. So let's see here. Okay, so in English, we use an 8-note C major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We need all of those 8 tones. Now we have ascending, which is rising sounds, which are higher pitch. We have descending, coming down. We have glides. Here are the glides. Glides, 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 glides. So you have to now start thinking not so much for comprehension as you're thinking for the sound of it when you're doing it. So I want you to say your name with an American accent. I'm going to demonstrate mine. If I just said, my name is Donna Durbin. My name is Donna Durbin. Do you really hear my name? But if I say my name is Donna Durbin, Donna Durbin. Do you keep it longer? Donna Durbin. So my voice goes up, Donna Durbin. Okay, who hasn't had a chance to practice it? I want to hear your name with an American accent. Anybody? Iman? Or Sudhir? Or Seema? Or Hector? Robin? Who hasn't done anything yet? Tell me your name with an American accent.
I will try my name.
Okay.
Iman.
Okay, so Iman, I want your voice to go up. So the first syllable starts here, Iman, and then what's your last name?
Iman Salama.
Iman Salama. Do you hear your voice go up and then come down?
Yes.
Now, how do you normally say it?
We say it in Arabic, Iman Salama.
So that's, to my ears, that sounds very flat. So I can't tell where the first name is and where the family name is. And when you put a pause in between those, then we know it's 2 words. Iman?
Iman Salama.
Salama. That's the trick, is being able to do it so that there's a pause between those 2 words. Great. Okay, now we also use rhythm and beat. It's a hand clap. So you think about, that's fast, that's slow. And then the pause is the thing in between it. How many of you have some musical background or sing music background? Because if you don't, this is really what creates the melody of English. So if we do this first one, whoops, it's an equal beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's look at this second one. It's 4 counts, but the count is different. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This third one is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And this other one is 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. So in other words, this pause and beat is what you have to start paying attention to. So let's look at this one. So in this, the content words all keep the same beat. They're equal in beat for the most part. So we have birds eat worms. Birds eat worms. This word is going to give you guys some troubles. Birds eat worms. Now this one is birds eat the worms. So the is very quick. Birds eat the worms. The birds will eat the worms. Now I've got groups. I've got commas in here for the pauses. The birds will eat the worms. The birds will have eaten the worms. The birds will have eaten the worms. The beat is the same, but the words are said faster and slower. This is what we call stressed and reduced, or stressed and unstressed words. Okay, who wants to give this one a try? Have any volunteers? Anybody who's not done anything yet? Okay. Harneet? Or
Yep.
but your name doesn't show. That's why I see the Pres Con at VPI and then M. When I look at your thing, I don't see your whole name. So that's why I have a hard time calling you. Okay, give it a try. Do all of them.
Birds eat worms.
Birds eat the worm.
Birds eat the worms. The
Okay.
birds will eat the worms.
Okay.
The birds will eat the worm.
So the reason I have this crossed out is because these are unstressed words and we reduce them and link them together. Will have. But I'm still hearing birds eat worm. The birds will have eaten the worms. I'm not putting the birds will have eaten. I'm putting the birds will have eaten the worms. These are our primary nouns and verbs. Good job. Okay, I'm going to rush through here, guys, because, okay, so 90% of our 2-syllable nouns are stressed on the first syllable. So we have record, present, table, bookcase. Oh, when I transferred it into the other thing, it messed up. So the 60% of our verbs are stressed on the second syllable. Record, present. I'm going to move through these. So we're going to do one more nursery rhyme because nursery rhymes help you with articulation and intonation. Intonation is the pitch change. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. You see 2 syllables, water. So when I do my courses, I capitalize the stressed syllable to help give you a visual clue so that you know that that's got to have a high-low. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Okay, who else did, Harneet, you were going to try to do, why don't you try it? You're unmuted.
Okay. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water.
Water. There's that difference
Water.
between the water.
Water.
Good. Keep going. Jack.
I'm again.
Jack fell down. Do you see this or no?
Yeah. Jack fell down and broke his crown to fetch a pail of water.
And Jill came tumbling after. Do you see this whole?
Yes.
Okay. So
and
you're
Jill.
And Jill.
And Jill came tumbling after.
So how many of you have recognized that American nursery rhymes have to do with our culture, but it also has to do with rhythm and patterns and intonation? Instead of Jack and Jill went up the hill. Jack and Jill went. Do you hear the pauses? Da, 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 da. That's the rhythm. That's the rhythm. Okay, let's see. Hickory dickory dock. Hi, how are you? So if I look at this like, hi, how are you? Do you hear the tone change? Instead of hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? What if I did hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? I'm changing the meaning. Hi, I'm clarifying. Hi, how are you? So start thinking about how you pronounce words and the sentences that you pronounce. Let's see, any more volunteers? Do number 2.
May I turn on the light?
Okay. Kalpana?
Yes.
Do number 2.
Hi. Number 2. May I turn on the light? May I turn on the light?
So I hear it very equal. Whoops. I hear it very equal. May I turn on the light? Let me show you how an American says it. May I turn on the light? Try it again. May I turn on the light? So turn on is a phrasal verb and we put stress on the preposition. Turn on. May I turn on the light? Oops, you muted yourself. Kalpana, you muted yourself. There you go.
May I turn on the light.
Very good. You were able to copy that really quickly. So part of this is start to listen to American speakers and see if you can't pick up the melody behind it, because your melody is different than American. So instead of, may I turn on the light? May I turn on the light? Okay, number 3. Who wants to do number 3?
I want.
Okay, Iman.
I'm going to the store.
Okay,
Is
so I'm
it?
going to the store. So this word needs to be stressed, and I need to have an up and down. I'm going to this. Whoops, I'm sorry. I'm going to the store. I'm going to the store. Do you hear my voice go up and come down? Store. Do it again.
I'm going to the store.
Better, because what you did is you've emphasized this word. And this is the important word in the sentence. It's the noun. These other words are pronouns and helping verbs and prepositions. We don't stress those.
Okay.
Unless I'm trying to exaggerate it. I'm going to the store. 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 Do you see I can change the emphasis by changing my pitch? And that's the difference. Okay, one more. Who wants to do it? Somebody hasn't done it. Badria.
What did you say?
Good. Okay, now let's put the stress on you.
Yeah. What did you say? No.
Okay, put the stress on you. You put it on say, which is good, but put it on you. Change the stress and put it on you.
What did you say?
What did you say?
What did you say?
That's right. Now put it on what?
What did you say?
What did you say? What
did you say? No.
What did you say? So you see, guys, when I can shift the intonation to be on any word, but I'm changing the emphasis and I'm changing what I want you to understand.
What did you say?
What did you say? Right. What did you say? Now I'm going to give you some things. So your practice, take a screenshot. These are practice strategies that you can improve your English. 15 minutes of mouth and tongue exercises. Read out loud 10 minutes a day. Exaggerate your lips and move your mouth. Use a stair-step intonation for English. Slow down. Use word groups. We use no more than 3 or 4 words and then a pause. And basically that's the way we've structured our sentences in grammar. We have the subject, the verb, and the object. Prepositional phrases or a word group. And then practice. Okay, record yourself watching and listen back. Record yourself, listen back and be a good give yourself constructive criticism. Okay, I think that's it. What are your biggest takeaways? Let's talk about it. I'm going to share here. If you want to take a screenshot, I'm going to put my link in the chat again. This link tree has my YouTube and some other things if you want to take a screenshot. And I'm going to put it in the chat. Is it okay to put this in the chat, Sveta?
Yes, you can. Okay.
Durbin, I give a free 20-minute consultation. And you can on Calendly, you need to schedule a Calendly call. Consolation. No, not consolation, consultation. Auto correct is not sometimes the best thing. Okay, put it in the chat. I'm going to stop the share and I want some feedback. What do you guys think? Did you learn anything?
Amazing. Just amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was fun. I had a good time. I finally got into the stream of things here, but part of it is don't be afraid to participate. It needs to feel different and sound different or you're not changing anything. But there are very important ways that you can intentionally improve your presentation skills and your speaking. But a lot of it has to do, I only teach pronunciation. I don't really get into, well, except for the grammar of past tense ED and S as Z. We have a lot of words, like there's a word hiss, H-I-S-S, like a snake hisses, and his, H-I-S, is spelled H-I-S, but it's pronounced H-I-Z, his.
Is.
Mhm. Okay, feedback.
Donna, thank you for making us aware of what's the problem. Obviously, the insight is very important to rectify and get better. So you have given that insight into the problem, which I wasn't aware. I was told I have pronunciation issues, especially with the wa and wa. It was pointed out a couple of times, but I didn't know how to work on it. So you have given us that insight to work on. So thank you so much.
Like I say, it's not rocket science, but it is an unconscious habit, and you have to be conscious of it before you can change it, right? You have to be aware of it. And then there are techniques that I work with to help people really, really improve that or retrain their brain and their muscles to work together. But the mouth and tongue exercises, guys, go to my YouTube channel and watch my 15-minute exercise, because I'll do it with you and you can print it out. So I've got, I'm happy to, have a consultation with you to see if you need some extra work. In fact, I was telling Sveta is that, maybe I could put together a special training for people in the Middle East. And so if you will either put your email in the chat and I will follow up with you, or you can email me. The link tree has my email and everything, but I'm delighted to have participated and helped you, because you're doing so much to also improve your public speaking and your contest. And just these small little tweaks will make a big difference in the way you come across. So whether it's for work or personal, pronunciation is important. Anything else?
That was really amazing. Thank you so much, Donna, for, getting up very early in the morning in Texas and giving a little bit of your precious time to us and educating us on something that is very important for all of them. I believe I'm kind of unconsciously adapting to the lessons that you've given us, because
Okay.
all that verbal exercise have been like very useful, and it's a great takeaway, not just to us as regular individuals, but also as to many of our Toastmasters over here. Really enjoyed a lot and had like maximum takeaways through this from this session, especially. Like, you can even go look at the chat, and everyone has a lot of valuable feedback to just give it to you personally. But I would also like to take this platform and this moment and opportunity to present you with a small token of appreciation from our district. It is very small, and we would like to present you with this certificate of appreciation for being not just a trainer by facilitating this very interactive special workshop, but also like doing this great job out there, like, through your YouTube series and all of those things. And I do definitely believe that many of us who have attended this session over here with you today would definitely reach out to you for more details in the days to come. And yeah, definitely, we will make sure that we pass on your contact info to other Toastmasters as well. And like I've mentioned to you before, this session will also is been recorded, and it will also be available on YouTube for other members to catch up on, whoever has missed it. And if you're interested to attend any future workshops in of the district and beyond the district as well, especially the ones with Donna, please don't hesitate to reach out to her, and she would be happy to help you as well. Right?
This was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Namaste.
much, Donna.
Namaste.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much. Thank you so much.
I hope that I have awakened you to the being conscious of pronunciation and the differences. Basically, it's identifying the differences between our English spoken patterns, our pronunciation patterns, and the way you speak now. And then once you identify them, they actually are pretty easy to change. It just takes repetition and practice. It's not rocket science. You've already done the hard part. You've learned the language. That's the hard part. Really, this part is more of the little fine tuning. But again, when we're children and we learn to speak, those muscles get developed, and so it becomes unconscious. But after some practice, it will become more normal. It become your new normal. Actually, okay, somebody thinks she needs more than one session. Okay.
I second that.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
second.
Well, come join me. I do have, if you go to my website, you'll see that I do have several different offers of pronunciation classes. And one of them is a 5-day, it's like a 5-day class, and you get a lot of the same methods that I told you in that. And then I have some more extended coaching that I provide. So I'm just delighted to have met all of you. And I wish I could come in person. You guys will have to have me come over and do a workshop in person. It has to be longer than 2 hours though.
Definitely.
But I would love to be a presenter or be on a panel or come and do part of maybe your conference or your convention, those kind of things. Again, I'm new to Toastmasters, so you'll have to keep me updated on what happens in Toastmasters. But I'm so delighted to have the opportunity to meet with you. And I'm very impressed with your group and how many people show up and your participation that you have. So there's an upcoming contest, is that correct?
Yes, the Toastmasters annual speech contest happens usually around the month of November, and it goes on till the May May month of the following year. So this Toastmasters annual speech contest is observed at 4 different levels, starting from the club level. Then it moves on to the area, it moves on to the division, and finally the district level. So the district convention, which usually happens around May, is basically the finale for that, where you'll see top 8 people in Qatar compete at 4 different type of speech contest categories. And like having this sort of workshop is just an eye opener for them, because this enhances their delivery as well. So that is one of the reasons why we just thought that it would be a great idea to have you with us today.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Shweta. Thank you so much. Really,
Thank you so much.
really so helpful.
Thank you so
So
much.
delighted. Yeah, I'm very delighted. It was a pleasure to work with you. And again, keep up the good work. Professional development or personal development is only going to benefit you. And I'm going to have to join Toastmasters myself.
Please.
Yes, yes, please.
It'd be fun. I don't know that I'm going to be coming over there.
Perfect.
But I know that we have lots of Toastmasters groups in Houston as well. So, and the people that have put their emails in here, I will try to follow up with. And if not, please send me an email at Donna@Clear English Coach. I'm going to put that in the, on my website. There is a Calendly link that you can schedule a call, and I would be delighted to talk with you. Of course, my hours and your hours. If you have problem finding the hours on my Calendly, please send me an email. That's on my website too. And we can find a time that's convenient for you and me. I know you're 8 hours ahead, I believe. Isn't that correct, Sveta? Because for me,
yeah,
it's
we
now
are 8 hours ahead. Yes.
9 a.m. And for you, it's what time?
5.
5 p.m.
5 p.m.
Okay. Have a great evening and a good weekend. And thank you again for the opportunity.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Donna.
you. Thank you.
So Sveto, how do I get my little certificate? Will you email it to me?
Yes, I will email it to you. Yes,
Okay, sounds good.
of course. Thank you so much, Donna. Have a great day.
Thank
too.
you, Donna.
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.